Hello and welcome to my Game Plan 2022 session. I'm so glad you're here. Let's get started. First, I'm Elisa Wadsworth, if you don't know me already, and I'm the owner of The Best Me Nutrition and Wellness. Let's get going. I'm going to share my screen, get right into it because this might take us a while. Something I want you to know as we go is I've done it in this format so that you can pause, so that you can see the questions on the screen or take a screenshot and write out your questions in a journal. There's something about physically writing things out that will help you cognitively. Okay, so today we will be auditing 2021. We'll be going back and seeing what has worked, not worked, where we want to go from here. We will be creating the mindset of a master goal achiever. I am a lover of habits and goals, and I even took a course. One of my certificates back there is on habits and goals. So I'm here to share some of the things that I've learned, and hopefully they help you. We're also going to be setting highly motivating and achievable goals. So we'll be specific. We don't want anything that'll take us off the grand prizes of our lives. We want focus. We're going to create a plan to prevent self-sabotage and overwhelm. So let's get going. Setting goals are linked with higher motivation, self-esteem, self-confidence, and autonomy. This is by Locke and Latham in 2006, and the cute little kitty reminds you to keep your eyes on your goals. Why set goals? Why are we even here? Maybe you haven't done this before. Maybe you're a veteran goal setter. Why do we do them? They give us focus. They help us measure our progress, especially if you're writing them down and keeping them somewhere where you can go back and see where you've come. They help us stay motivated, help us beat procrastination, and help us achieve more. I'm thinking sometimes we don't want to achieve more. Maybe we're happy with right where we're at, and we're going to find out. Maybe that's where you need to be, and you don't need to be achieving a whole bunch of things, but maybe you have dreams and goals and you're not satisfied with just staying in one place. It is said that staying in one place is actually regression, because the natural law of entropy is that everything collapses and becomes disorganized over time. And so we need to constantly work to move forward, and moving forward feels good. Why do people fail at goal setting? They don't write their goals down, they don't create an actionable plan, and they don't revisit or review their progress. So these things we are going to be doing. Today, we're going to write them down. We're going to create an actionable plan, and we're going to revisit. We're going to visit and review progress that we've already made, and make plans to do that in the future also. So we're not planning on failing. So there is a Harvard business study that says 83% of the population does not even have goals. And maybe that's been you in the past. Maybe you know people like that. I'm sure you do if 83% of people don't have goals. 14% have a plan in mind, but unwritten goals. And this group is 2 times more successful than the first group. So if you have a plan in mind, but you haven't written them down, you're still twice as successful as the people who don't even have goals. So that's a good thing. But the next one, let's see, the 3% have goals written down, and we are going to be that 3%. This group is 10 times more successful than all of them. If you have something in mind that you want to achieve, don't you actually want to achieve it, not just have it be a dream? Let's write them down. Okay, before we go forward, we must go back. This is the point where we will do some auditing on our past year. So we're going to reflect on 2021, and here are some questions. This is where you can take a screenshot and do it later, or you can pause this and answer these questions now. So what I've done is I just have my bullet journal and I took a page and I've written these questions, and then I've given myself room to answer them in detail and really ponder on them. This process is not meant to be done just really, really quick. It is meant to give you time to ponder and really come to a place where you feel confident moving forward with your goals. So this is an important step to reflect. So number one, what goals did you have? Then what did you achieve? Which didn't you achieve? Why didn't you achieve them? And that might take some introspection. Which ones will you carry over to 2022? So which ones did you not accomplish that you want to continue working on? What limiting beliefs held you back? What have you learned this year? Where did you fail? And what could you have done better? Do you see why these questions are so important and why they need answered? Because how can we change and build and grow if we don't understand what maybe happened in the past? Okay, so now we're going to change our mindset, thoughts, feelings, beliefs. What is going to change from last year to the next year? So we need to have done that process first. Now we're moving forward to the new one. What are the new thoughts, feelings, and beliefs? What will be different about this next year? What we think is where it all starts. So some ideas, some thoughts. I'm excited about this year. I feel good. I feel confident. I believe I am going to accomplish these things. Those are some ideas, but maybe some other thoughts have come to your mind. This is very individual. It's going to be just how you need it. So listen to the thoughts that come to your mind. Here's a good quote. Watch your thoughts before they become words. Watch your words before they become actions. Watch your actions for they become habits, and that can be good or bad. Watch your habits for they become character, and watch your character for it becomes your destiny. What thoughts are you going to have over this next year that are going to tumble forward into being your character and your destiny? All right, so here's some more examples of thought changes. I can't do this. Some of these things are going to come to your mind, and a tactic is to take a notebook, and when a negative thought comes to your mind, you write it down. And then you cross that out and write the opposite. So this is what we're doing here. If a thought comes to you, I can't do this. You write it down, you cross it out, and you write, I can do this. And then you take that negative and you can rip it out and burn it and be done with it and just stick with the I can do this and tell yourself that often. Some others are, I'm not good enough. We'll change that to I am good enough, not I can be good enough or I will be good enough, but I am. Give your brain something to hold on to that your heart can then believe when it sees your actions. I'm not ready to grow and change turns to I am ready to grow and change. I'm afraid of change turns to I'm not afraid of change. Can you see how this can change your outlook? This is brought up. There's a book, Atomic Habits. I highly recommend this book. It talks about this more in detail about your mindset and how powerful it is. I'm doing fine where I am. I'm comfortable, or I'm not fine where I am and I want more. And we just talked about being comfortable in one place can actually mean regression. Who am I to expect more changes to I am worth more than I'm giving myself. So to reiterate, when a negative thought comes to you about these goals that you're going to be making and the path that you want to take your life, something negative comes, get rid of it, change it to positive, and start telling yourself that and writing it down. Here we come to a fun part. So these are questions that I often ask my clients when they are picturing where they want to go with feeling their best. And this is the same thing, only this is going to include not just your nutrition and fitness, but also your finances and your family and the fun things that you want to do. So you're going to close your eyes and again, take a screenshot of this or write these down and do it later, because I'm going to be talking through them kind of quick. And then you want to take time in this and write it down. So your eyes are closed and you, what does your perfect day look like? You're just going to picture, what does your perfect day look like? What are you waking up to? What are you wearing, doing, seeing, feeling, and experiencing? And you're going to put yourself in this. It's kind of like if you were to be sitting and watching a movie on a screen and you close your eyes and you put yourself in that movie. So you are in this and you're seeing and you are feeling and you are experiencing and you're using all your senses and your emotions and making it real. And you're putting yourself in this perfect day of when you have achieved things and when you're just feeling your very best. What is making this possible? What actions got you here? Who's with you? Who has supported you? What have you had to change? How are you feeling? Who have you impacted? And again, all your senses and emotions. We want as much input into how this is feeling and what's going on, so that you can really imagine it and feel it and be there. And then write it down. This is going to be a vision statement. You're going to write down everything you thought and felt. And it's okay to feel something and open your eyes and write it down. Then put yourself back in and there will be something else that comes and you open your eyes and you write it back down. Okay, so that is an important part of this. Again, from Atomic Habits and from many other places, visualization. What your mind sees begins the process of the head, heart, and hands. Your mind is feeling it and seeing it, and it puts in your heart what you want and why, and kind of starts to putting in the how, and then you go to work doing it, and that gives your brain evidence that you are doing these things, and then it's okay with moving forward and achieving things. All right, here we go. We're going to set some goals. Now you're going to brainstorm in these categories: faith, finances, family, fitness, and fun. And these are, I did not make these up. They do encompass a lot of things, and we'll go into that more. But so again, I took my journal and this one. So one page, I've got what are my new thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. And then the next one is going to be my visualization. I'll be writing that down so that all of this, I can look back again next year. So last year, I've got my goals in this old notebook, and I'm going to be looking through that to do my reflections. But then I've got another page. Here's my faith page, my finances page, and I've taken a page for each one of these so that I can be doing my brainstorming, and I'll show you that next. So faith. These are not specific. These you can screenshot if you want. These are ideas for you. Faith to you is going to mean a lot of different things. Brainstorm and write down 20 plus things that you want to achieve in your faith. What does that look like? And it can be faith. Faith can include mindset. So let's read through these. Join a church or spiritual group, participate in a weekly study, volunteer, self-care. What spiritual books will you read and how often? Meditation time and prayer time, teaching others, journaling. Lots of things can go into this faith category. So Write down all the things that you want to achieve in your faith, and take some time and do this. Pause this video or take a screenshot and do it later. Okay, the next one, financial and business. And there are a lot here. So if you are working for someone, it might look different than if you own a business. But so again, these are just some ideas of where you can take your brainstorming from, and just take a page and just write down 20 plus things that you want to achieve in your finance and business, and just brainstorm. Nothing is bad here. Just let your imagination go and figure out all the things that you would just love, from things that could happen right away to things that it can happen way down the road. Next one, family. And same thing here. Take a screenshot or pause and answer these questions. Figure out what's important to you. Fitness. This can mean a lot of things to a lot of different people. What are your goals? Where do you want to be with your fitness? Okay, fun and fulfillment. And this is the last one. And get these things down and take some time with these. This is the foundation of where you're going to be going with your goals. Okay, next one. Choose 1 to 3 in each area. So you've done 20 plus in each area. You have brainstormed, and now you're going to go through and circle 1 to 3 in each area that would make the most difference. There's some questions. Which ones are vital? Which ones matter? Which ones would have consequences? And which ones are important enough for your focus? So 1 to 3 in each area, because we can't do everything. Which ones would make the most difference if you were to accomplish them? Which ones matter the very most to you and would be worth focusing on? So it's going to take some time. Think about this, ponder this, pray over it, talk with others maybe if you need to. Take your time with it. Okay. Then make sure each one that you have chosen, those 1 to 3, are specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. They call these SMART goals, and I'll show you an example of what that is. For example, if you take the SMART and one is specific, so I will lose 20 pounds of fat by April 30th of this year. That's very specific. The not specific would be, I want to lose weight. That is not specific enough. The next one is measurable. We can measure how much fat and by what time, and the not one, you can't really measure that. I mean, you could. I want to lose weight. You could lose 1/8 of a pound, and technically you would have reached that. So the next one is actionable. Is this something that I can accomplish? If it was lose 20 pounds of fat by February, that wouldn't be reasonable or realistic, which is the R. And then timely, you want to put a timestamp on it when you want to achieve it. That helps your brain to figure out what you need to do to get it done by that time and not procrastinate. Here's another example. Oh, no, I didn't do another example. Hopefully that was enough example for you. Is that all I did? Yes. Okay, next step. You've got those 1 to 3 goals. And the next step, this is how I did it. You're going to timestamp it. So you're going to make a category for 1 to 5 years, 4 months, 3 weeks, 2 days, and 1 hour. And each of those things that were really important to you, you're going to just divide them up into those categories. And one rule of thumb is to try to have one business thing and one personal thing in each category. Maybe you were just forward thinking and you only have the things that are in the 4 months or the 1 to 5 years, and that's okay too. We will work on that. But if you have things in the 1 hour or the 2 days, just put those in your plan to just get done, because obviously they're on here and they're important. But before you put them into these categories, ask yourself these questions here on the right. Is it vital? Does it matter? What are the consequences? Is it important enough for my focus? So before you write them down as things that you are going to accomplish this year, ask yourself those things. And if it doesn't hit those, I don't know what to call it. If it doesn't hit those, then mark it off and don't worry about it, because it's going to be a waste of time. We only want to focus on the essential. And that's another book that I'm reading right now, Essentialism. Who is the author? His name is Greg McKeown. We don't want to have so many things going that we're burning out. We want to focus our attention and only have the things that will really make a difference and that are really worth our time. So now you have prioritized, you've decided which ones are really essential, which ones are worth your time, and you're going to then take an asterisk and put it by the ones that are the most essential, the ones that you really need to focus on first. And really the 1 hour, 2 days, 3 weeks should be the ones that you are really just knocking out right now. And then you can focus later, but we'll talk more about that. Now you have all of your goals written down, what you're wanting to accomplish, and the ones, here, let's go back. The 1 hour and 2 days, you can just get done. You can do this process for those also if you want, if they're that important that you need to do that. For the longer term ones, we are going to ask why. And there are some different things. There's the WHY. What hurts you, and the why that makes you cry, and the 7 deep why. Now the 7 deep why is how we're going to get to your why, but we want to get to your why, or the why that makes you cry, or what hurts you, because that is what is going to motivate you to keep going and not lose your steam and accomplish these things. You have to have your why. So let's take that example that I got from somewhere else of losing 20 pounds by April. You're going to ask yourself why, and you're going to write it down. Why do I want to lose 20 pounds by April? Because I've got a wedding coming up. Okay. And then you ask yourself why for that one. Okay. So, and this will be number 2. Why do I want to lose 20 pounds for this wedding? Because so-and-so will be there and I want to look good. Okay, well, why do you want to look good? So do you see what it looks like? And you do that 7 times. It used to be that you asked until you got to something, until you couldn't ask why anymore. But 7 usually is where it's at. Sometimes you have to go a little bit further. The way I like to go about it is, in the beginning, that first why is going to be a real mental, like non-emotional answer. It's just going to be a rational, this is why I want to do this. Well, once you've asked and asked and asked, you're going to get down to something that's emotional. And oftentimes when I'm talking with my clients, it's the one that makes them tear up. And usually they're apologizing. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm like, this is what we're going for. I came here to make you cry. So every goal, you need to ask why, and then you're going to record that. And I believe, so on my notebook where I've put the goals that I'm going to be working on, I'm going to write the why next to each one. And to get to the why, I'm thinking I might have room like on that full page, like this one is fitness, and where I'm going to be brainstorming everything, maybe I'll have room for the why there, or make another page to figure out my why. But it's important that you have it, and it's important that you write it down. I suggest you become obsessed about the things you want. Otherwise, you're going to spend a lifetime being obsessed with making up excuses as to why you didn't get the life you wanted. This is Grant Cardone, and his book is the 10X Rule. I'm sure he's written others, but that one's a really good one that goes with everything. All the books that I'm telling you about really go with this whole process and can help you achieve what you're wanting to achieve. So we're going to become obsessed. Are you ready? Vision boards. These work. I was listening to Fraser Brooks, and if you haven't heard him before, he's on YouTube. He has a podcast. He's awesome. And his goal setting, he puts his goals in looks like 6 places. I'm sure you've heard of a vision board before, but you're going to take each goal and you are going to find, like Google it or somehow find a picture of what it is you're trying to achieve. So let's go back to the lose 20 pounds one. You're going to find a picture that reminds you of that, as specific as you can. Maybe it's a picture of you 20 pounds less. That would be best. Or okay would be a picture of someone else or a silhouette that's of someone that's the weight that you want to be. But for every goal that you've set, you want to find something visual, and you can use Fiverr. I've used them for a few things. There are professionals that put what they can do on there, and it'd be like $5 to have someone Photoshop you doing something that is your dream, so that you can get it as specific as you can. What would be better? And Fraser Brooks talked about this, getting that specific car that you want and having a picture of that car. Or do you want a picture of you in that car? Because are you getting that car so it can sit in your driveway, or are you getting that car so you can be in it driving? So think about each goal, what that visual can be, get it made up, and you're going to post it in these different places. You're going to put it in your office or your workspace so that you see it, the place that you spend the most time. You're going to have these visual, this vision board up. One is the back of the bathroom door, or the opposite of where you sit on the toilet, because you're going to be spending a lot of time in there. And so you can see and dream and be reminded. The back of your front door. So every time you're leaving your house, you're reminded of what it is that you are trying to achieve, and it's just on your mind. The left of the TV, if you are a TV watcher, you can have that up there so that as you're sitting there, you're going to have that. And during commercials or when you're not focused, your mind can be reeling on those goals of yours. And a digital screensaver, so you can put those pictures on the home screen and the lock screen of your phone so that you see them all the time. And then one that so before, when I've done vision boards, I'll show you. I keep it in my drawer right here. I keep this notebook, and it's vision things I've put up on my walls over the years. And like, I had this one for activities I wanted our family to do, and I take them down when they're done and put them in here. So there are things that I've accomplished. I wanted to be a health coach, and here I am. So, yep, I had those things up there, and they have happened for me, and now they're in this notebook. And so each of these, you can see, like this one, I also wrote words with it. So kind of like the the vision or the identity statements that would go with it. So you can choose how you want to do that if you want to put words, but if you look forward 10 years, put yourself in that space. If in 10 years you're looking back on this year's goals and you are telling yourself, I am 20 pounds lighter now, and I achieved this, and I achieved this, and I am driving that car now, and I don't know, whatever it is you're wanting to achieve. I achieved this rank in the business, and now I'm this. So you write down, looking back 10 years in the mindset of you've already achieved all of these things. And then you record that, you get your phone and you get the audio recording, and you read that out and you listen to that every day. This is the obsessed part. You want to be looking at these pictures every day. You want to be putting yourself back in that visualization of your perfect day and all of these things that you've accomplished. You want to be listening to that recording. Why? Because that's what's going to get us there. And that's where we don't want the overwhelm. Let's get to the next slide. Okay, there are two schools of thought. Well, two that I know of right now, two that I have gone back and forth between. You can be analytical, some people will be, and you will be writing down your goals, and then you will take each one and you will write all the steps that you need to get there. And then you can plug those into your plan of, okay, I'm going to achieve this by this day and this by this day, so that it builds up until you've reached that major goal. And then as you're going, you do things, and then you look at it and be like, okay, so that worked or that didn't work. What am I going to change? You execute, track, and tweak, and that's how you move forward towards your goals. The other one, some people aren't going to be so analytical. They're not going to want to write. They're not going to want to have trackable things where you mark everything off and keep track in a notebook. And even those people, I want you to be writing things. But if you aren't going to want to have so much tracking and so much figuring each step, you can instead be the visionary, where you're seeing your vision boards daily. You are allowing your mind to go to, it's finished and what have I done to get there? And then you just work on that every day. And that way allows you to flow more, instead of I've got to accomplish this, I've got to accomplish this, which maybe that is what some people need or want. But this one allows you to kind of flow with it and, okay, I'm moving closer. Now I need to work on this, and this is coming and this isn't working. And you intuitively know the next steps, and it's just less overwhelming. So you choose what's going to work for you and do that. The next one, get accountable. You're going to declare this. You're going to take a photo of your written goals and your action habit plan and email or text an accountability partner. Take a picture of your vision board. Take a picture of what you've written down. Get it to someone, whether it's going to be a spouse, a family member, or a best friend, or a boss, or someone that you know will remember and hold you accountable. Not only hold you accountable, but support you along the way. Someone needs to know that you are working on these things, so that you don't just get a few weeks down the road and say, nobody knows that I was going to do that, so I think I'll drop it. No, you want to let people know and have that support. Okay, so the next one, I heard this years ago from Brian Tracy. I believe it was in the book called Eat That Frog. It's a good one. And he talked about every day, take your notebook, and you can even have a notebook dedicated to this, and you write down your goals. And every day You turn the page, you write your goals, turn the page, write your goals. And over time, it will become even more cemented in you that these are the things that you're trying to accomplish. Then lately, Grant Cardone said, well, I saw that he said, I want to wake up to it. I want to go to sleep to it. I want to dream with it. I want to write my goals down before I go to sleep at night because they're important to me. They are valuable to me, and I get to wake up to them again tomorrow. Now, he has achieved major goals, and this is something that he does and recommends to us, and I recommend it also. And then in this book, the bullet journal method, he talks about the same thing, only he takes it a little step further. And you have twice a day that you are taking your journal and you're thinking. So in the evening, you're looking back on what you accomplished. You're writing down what you did and marking things off and just reevaluating your day and your goals and where you're trying to go. And then in the morning, you open it again, and then you make your new plan. And this also came from a book called Our Home that I read a long time ago. And writing them down helps you kind of compartmentalize or kind of understand better where you've been and where you're wanting to go. Because if you're on this trajectory, you could just keep going and pushing and pushing and pushing. But if you in your journal see a pattern of this isn't working, then you can just tweak it and go another direction that'll be just a little bit easier. So an evening reevaluation and then a morning planning based on what you've learned about yourself. And then you can go back also monthly and see where you've been and where you're going and just continue to reroute and get closer to your destination. Right, so we have reviewed 2021. We have created the mindset of a master goal achiever through finding our why and through visualization. We have set motivating and achievable goals, and we have created a plan to prevent self-sabotage and overwhelm. I hope you feel like that we've done all of those things. I hope that you feel empowered and ready for this next year. I would love it if you would send me what you're trying to accomplish. Let's see this next slide. Yes, let's meet again. So I was messaging someone and he had his goals set already. He didn't need this course. And he said, let's meet up next year and see how we did on our goals. And I think that would be awesome if you would meet me again next year and let's see what you have achieved from what you've planned. And I would like to hold you accountable if you want it. And I will return with what I've accomplished too. So let's go to work. In order to change your life, you need to change what you do daily. And that is the plan. Have a fantastic day. I hope you have fun, and maybe fun isn't the word. For me, it's fun. Goal setting is fun. But maybe for you, it is. I hope you have a lot of interesting thoughts and that you get excited about where you're going. Have a good one.